Hi guys, I'm back. Wendy here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. So today I'm going to do a couple of fun things. I am going to do a book tag. I came across a wonderful channel called Mason in the Dark. He is a blind booktuber, which I think is incredible, and he has really great content on his channel. And I came across his book tag on there called the Wishful Thinking Book Tag. And so I'm going to do that one today, and I have a surprise after that. So stay tuned. So let's start, shall we? The first question is legacy. Is there an author you wish was still alive today to witness the impact of their work? And absolutely, the author that comes to mind, I haven't spoke much about him or at all on this channel yet, which is weird, but he, as a spoiler, he is going to be he's going to be the on the author spotlight next month on my channel that I started doing. And of course it's J.M. Barrie. He is the author of one of my favorite stories of all time, Peter Pan. And it doesn't hurt that my name is mentioned many times in that book as well. So yeah, it's my favorite story. I've watched it. My children have probably seen it a million times. It is my all-time favorite story, and it would be him. I would love to see the impact of his work today. Let's see. The memory wipe. Number 2, which book or series do you wish you could forget, either so you could experience it again for the first time or forget it completely? That would be, that's easy. Like any of Mitch Albom's books. What's Easy Gave Honey Boy? You know, I love that book. I've reviewed it on here. There's so many, but those come to mind right off the bat. Any of Mitch Albom books I would love to read for the very first time. There is another book that I haven't reviewed on here, but I have read it. I just love this book. It's a nonfiction book. It is called The Barn Dance, and it is a true story. It's an incredible story, and some people might not believe it, but I will review it on here. I was just thinking of that book the other day because it is a book that has stayed with me since the time I read it. That would be another book. Okay, the next question is which character do you wish had a different fate? That one is pretty easy too, because the first one that comes to mind, and I just read this book and I did review it on here, is Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. That story really got to me. I still think about it. He is a man that's dying in the book, so I wish that he had a different fate, obviously, that he didn't die, because he was trying so hard to reconnect with his son, and the whole book is like a love letter to his son that was estranged from him. And I would hope that his son would come around and realize that his father, is not perfect, and as parents we're not perfect, and that he was trying so hard to reconnect with him again. So that would definitely be the book for sure. The next question is namesake. If a character was going to be named after you, what kind of person would you wish for them to be, and what sort of the story would you want them to be in? This one is pretty easy too, because I actually have thought about this before, and I know it sounds weird to people who are not in the booktube community, but it is something that I thought about before. So I would either be one of two things: either an innkeeper, an old-fashioned inn that had weary travelers come in and have like a cup of hot soup, and it'd be a big roaring fire, and they would come in and tell stories, and everybody would sit around and just listen to tall tales and have something to eat. And the other one would be owner of a bookstore, an old-fashioned bookstore with like leather-bound books, and like a reading room with a roaring fire, and leather couches and wingback chairs. And I would serve like coffee and tea and hot cider, and everybody would be able to share their love of books. So that would be my character. If I could have a character in a book, that would be what I would want to be. The next one is number 5, collectibles. Which fictional object do you wish you could own? This is easy. This isn't even, well, one of them is from a book, but this is one that I have wanted. I still want this one, as a matter of fact. I used to watch I Dream of Jeannie growing up, as I'm sure many of you did. And of course, I was obsessed with her bottle. I still am, I think. And I'm sure everybody was. I wanted that bottle so bad. I can't even tell you. And I actually went on, Barbara Eden has a website, and she's selling the bottles now, which are like ridiculously expensive. But maybe one day. I love them. I loved her bottle. And if it was a story that I wanted a fictional object from, it would be Aladdin's lamp. I think like that's everybody would want to have his wishes for whatever you'd want. That would be for sure. And then the last question is the reset button. Which book or series do you wish were written by a different author? So in keeping with what I was just saying about J.M. Barrie, and one of my other favorite authors is Mitch Albom, because they're two of my favorites, and I have a lot of favorites, but these are two of my very favorites, to combine them, like if either Mitch Albom was going to do a take on J.M. Barrie's stories, or J.M. Barrie would do a take on Mitch Albom's stories, because Mitch Albom's stories have like a little bit of magic in them, and they always give you something to think about, and they have a message to them. I would love to see the two, either or. I think that it sounds like a weird combination, but I think it would work. So that is it for the Magical Thinking book tag. And now this is my favorite part of the episode today. I'm going to do a fake bag. I know I did one last time, and it was wasn't a great one. I was just trying it out. The take on the fake crate that has been going around BookTube, but I decided to do a fake bag. So if anybody else wants to steal this idea, feel free. I just like the bag better. So I'm going to show you that. So mine comes in a bag with a zipper. It has a little rose in the front of it. It's not fancy, but I love the idea of it. And you can actually, this is very versatile because you could use this again. So there you go. So this is something that I thought up because I've shared with you guys that I've had, I have trouble falling asleep. I went into this whole thing on one of my other videos, but that's why I wanted to do this one, because everything in here I have used and has worked tremendously. So it's very sleep inducive. So, and all of these things you can get on Amazon or in the store, but this one I use every single night, and this is Epsom salt lavender. Magnesium is tremendous for relaxing the body, relaxing the muscles, and I do use this every night, and it truly, honestly works. Magnesium is so tremendous for your body. You could take the pills as well. Sometimes I take both, but you really don't need the pills if you take the soak in the bath with this. And I don't know if I've mentioned on here to you guys either, but I absolutely love my baths. I just love baths. I take one every night. And because I have trouble falling asleep, the Epsom salt is always in my bath. So yeah, that is number 1. The second thing I have in here, I know there's it's controversial with melatonin now as everything else. I know some people say, don't take it every night, it's not good, blah, 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 but it works for me. And this particular one goes along with my next item that I'm going to show you, but this one is ZzzQuil by Vicks. It's called Pure Z's Melatonin, Chamomile, and Lavender. This stuff, guys, is awesome, this particular melatonin. It's a gummy, but it works immediately, like you feel relaxed. So check this out. I got this on Amazon, but I know the stores have it as well. I've seen it in Target. This also I do sometimes, not every night, but this is a lavender mask. It has lavender in it. This one happens to be an RNA Radiant. Sleep masks, especially if they have like lavender in them, are very relaxing as well, very soothing. So there's that. And then I've mentioned this author on my channel before, and I absolutely love her. I love her podcast. I came across her, trying to research more ways to fall asleep. And her name is Catherine Nicolai. One of my very favorite books of all time is her book, Nothing Much Happens. It is a very cozy, you can see the girl on the cover. It's just a cozy picture of a girl reading in bed. It's the coziest book ever. And to go along with this, you have to go on her podcast, which is also called Nothing Much Happens. It is these cozy stories, and she has such a soothing voice, and she just puts you to sleep. And just so you guys could see, I've showed you this before, but the cozy illustrations in the book are just tremendous. She's got these beautiful, they're really beautiful illustrations in the book that go along with the stories. You can see. And she's got little recipes sprinkled in here that go with the stories, which I think is awesome. And just so you guys get a taste of, you know, the names of these stories, this book has Three Good Things, The Lilac Thief, A Concert in the Park, Off the Beaten Path, A Letter in the Envelope, At the Summer Fair, At the Museum on a Bright Day, A Block from Home, In the Library, Secret Admirer, At the Mill with Pumpkins and Cider, Halloween in an Old House, Tools on the Workbench, A Rainy Day Making Soup. Doesn't that sound cozy? Snowed In, A Night at the Theater, Christmas Eve, Outside at Night with My Dog. I mean, I just love Catherine Nicolai, and you have to go on her podcast as well. Together, these two things, you'll be sleeping for sure. So that is my fig bag. And I showed you guys the melatonin. By the way, I found out about this melatonin from Catherine Nicolai, because on her podcast at the beginning, I guess one of her sponsors is this company, and it's just the ZQL, Pure Z's. She talks about it at the beginning of some of her podcasts, and that's how I found it. So I knew that she would know a good thing to help you sleep besides her book and podcast. So that is it. That is a wrap for today. I am so happy to spend this time with you guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in every week and supporting my channel. It means more to me than you know. Like I said, for somebody who was very apprehensive about starting a channel, I have come to love. This is my favorite time of the week, is just to make these videos for you guys and share my thoughts on books and all bookish things. As a great lover of books, it is an absolute pleasure for me to be able to do that. And so I thank you for your support, and just keep it up. Keep hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'll continue to put out content that you like. I have more exciting things that I'm going to be doing, some vlogs in the bookstore and other surprises, so keep tuning in. And I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a great week. I will be back here again on Friday, so be sure and tune in. And that is it. Thank you for spending this time with me, and as always, I'll see you later.